Welcome to my beautiful garden. I thought we'd come outside today. Over here in the UK it's the 21st of June, so it's actually a pretty symbolic and significant day because it's summer solstice. We have the longest day, so we're celebrating the sun, we're celebrating the light, which is really cool. And I thought this was a really good time to take you through and show you a really beautiful, creative, expressive gratitude practice that comes from Peru, comes from the indigenous tribes in Peru, and it's called a Despacho. So we're going to do a version of a Despacho ceremony, and we're going to create a beautiful piece of art out of various symbolic elements. And we're going to use lots of natural resources that represent different things, different parts of us, different parts of the things we'd like to release, let go of, receive, different things we want to give thanks for and ask for strength for. And we're going to put them all together in a beautiful picture that we're then going to fold and tie up. And we're going to pay specific attention on our intention. And we're going to focus on this piece of art as a really symbolic journey that we can then offer up in a fire ceremony later on. So we're going to give it to the flames, we're going to offer it to the fire, the direction of the south, all around transformation and release and change. And it's a beautiful way to send a message. So I'm really excited because I love doing this, and it's not something I very often share publicly. It's been part of my practice for a while now, and I want to make sure I give absolute respect to the tradition. Even though I'm bringing it up to a sort of a more Western space and I'm putting my own little stamp on it, this is a really sacred ritual, and it's an Andean tradition that I want to pay particular respect to, and I would encourage you to check out, research, Google, find out a little bit more. I'm going to give you some more of the history and the heritage and the inspiration behind it. But yeah, just be super respectful of these ancient indigenous practices and the wisdom they hold, and the importance for us to be able to bring that wisdom up into spaces where it's no longer known, where we've lost our wisdom and we've lost the knowledge of what it means to be human and what it means to connect in with our space, our surroundings, our ancestors. So my path is to bring that wisdom back and bring it into a different space and bring it into my own community, my own culture. So I draw on a lot of Celtic shamanic wisdom, as well as my inspiration from Peru and my travels there. So this is my sort of tip of the hat to my Peruvian friends. So a despacho, this is what we're going to make, and we start off with a large piece of paper. So we have a large piece of paper, and everything that we use is going to be burnable, it's going to be non-toxic, as many natural ingredients as we can possibly find. So we need to be really ethical, really mindful where you're sourcing these ingredients and how you're using them. As always, that's just a given, isn't it? That's just a normal expectation there. And I'm going to give you a resource so that you know what things correspond to what, so you can have a little play around yourself, and of course you can do your own version of this. I'll give you the traditional versions, and I'm going to share with you the way I would do it. I'm going to show you a bit of a step-by-step and then the finished result, and then we'll talk you through how it works in terms of offering up to the fire. There's different ways to do that. You may, if you were looking at very slow, gentle, grounded release, you can bury in the earth your offering. If you're looking for some gentle movement and flow, you can give your offering to a river, a stream, lake, and you can let it go to water and use that element. Me being the fiery girl I am, and the traditional way that I learned this is to offer up to the fire. I do a lot of my releasing and purging and intention setting using fire as my tool. So that's what we're going to do today with this one. And you'll be able to see there's all kinds of things here, lots of things on the grass with me. And I wanted to connect in with the earth and really ground into this practice and work with my environment at the same time. So it's nice to do outdoors, it's nice to get your shoes off, get yourself grounded, and just have a lovely, beautiful, creative, expressive experience in whatever way works for you. With all kinds of things that I've collected that make a difference to me, some of the traditional elements that I'll talk you through, and some things that are just personal to me. And I'm going to go ahead and make my creation. So yeah, I hope you have fun doing yours as well. So have a watch, and then have a look at gathering your own supplies and have a go yourself. And feel free to share some pictures and share some experiences with me of how you got on with this particular practice. So to give you a little bit of history and information, the Despacho is a gift for the universe, a gift for spirit, a gift for our ancestors. And it's about healing. It's about an energetic exchange, and it's around re-establishing perfect holistic balance and expressing gratitude and asking for protection. So these are all the things that we're going to bring into this practice. These are all the things we're going to focus on and all of the intentions as we create. And using things like ceremony and ritual helps us to be more mindful with these things. We have a reason to do it, we have a purpose, and we are creating something with reason behind it and connecting in with something bigger than, however that works for you. And this kind of ceremony, this kind of practice can be used no matter what your belief system, no matter what your faith. If you don't have a belief system, you can still use this in the way that it's intended and really immerse yourself in the experience and create your own ceremony around it to get really, really super mindful and set those intentions and release and express some gratitude, rather than just, when we're so busy we kind of fail to connect in and we just throw things together and yeah, look at me, I've done this and I can stick it on Instagram now. It's not about that. It's about really connecting in with the process and really connecting in with the thoughts and the feelings behind it and the intention behind it. So, make the most of it as an actual experience and really embrace the ceremony behind it and the ritual behind it. So traditionally in the Andes, Despacho ceremony is performed either individually or communally. And it's around renewal and kind of re-imprinting the powers of nature and connecting it in with ourselves and our bodies and our personal selves. And it's connecting us in with the universe, it's connecting us in with our energy, it's connecting us in with the opportunity to find balance for the individual as well as the community, and also balance for Mother Earth, for Pachamama, for everything that is and everyone that is. So it's used for many, many different reasons all at once. And I love the fact that that's the case, because if you're doing this as an individual, you will put your own stamp on it and you will use it for how you want to use it. If you're doing this in a group setting or a community setting, or you're sharing this video, it does everything, and it does everything all at once. So it's for the individual, it's for the community, it's for the planet, it's for the universe, it's for all it is. So each item that we're going to put on there, each offering as we call it, each item of offering represents a sort of prayer, if that's the right word, an intention, a message, a gift. And it's a gift of power that sparks the momentum for energy shifts and for healing. So this is our starting process of transformation. It's how we catapult and it's how we create that spark and propel us into this new space. So I'll talk you through some of the elements that we're going to use, and you need to start yourself off with a large white piece of paper. You can go even bigger than this is quite small really, but bigger piece of paper as you can possibly get. And this is kind of the wrapping, this is going to be the wrapping for your offering. So you can do this any way you want to, but there's a way that you can fold it. So you can fold it into thirds one way, thirds the other way, so you end up with some squares, and you've got a central space there that's marked out that you can work from, and you'll create your piece of art in that central square, and then you have already the folds ready to fold it into the middle. So if you see, you fold it one way, and then you can fold it in like that, and then fold it into thirds again. So you've got a little version. And then when you open back out, you can see that you've got your square in the middle that you can work from as a template. So then in that central square in the middle of your page, we're going to start layering up our objects. And we're going to, if it resonates with you, each time you put an object in, hold it for a second first, just pause for a second, and you can actually put your own power, your own energy in by breathing into that object, breathing your essence into that object before you put it on, to make it extra special for you. And you're going to create your bundle in a way that's meaningful for you. So if what I do doesn't resonate, please don't think I need to do it exactly as I've been shown. That's very old school way instruction, and you follow it, and even if it means nothing to you, and that's not the way we roll in Mojo School. So you want to create it in a way that means something to you. So do whatever version, whatever feels right at the time, and if you center yourself first and do a couple of breathing exercises, you can get into your own creative flow, and then you're not all up in your head and thinking, what's the right way again? What will I not get judged on? And what was the best thing to do? And what does she say? Get out of that space. Just take the influence and then do what you need to do and what matters to you. So you're going to put your visions, your intentions, and connect yourself in with where you are within your community. And then once you've built it and you're happy with the way it looks, then you're going to fold it in and you're going to wrap it up so it's a little bundle of prayers. And then what we're going to do at the end, once we've tied it with string, we're going to make something called a quintu, which are 3 leaves. When we were in Peru, we used the cocoa leaves, national leaves, to make it into a little bundle. And we did a beautiful ceremony at the top of Mount Veronica, Pachamama, into the earth with gratitude and thanks. So we're going to do a similar thing, and you would use 3 leaves, your native leaves. I've picked some from my little rowan tree. So with thanks, I have 3 baby rowan leaves. She's just a baby at the moment. I've also picked 3 sage leaves because I have a beautiful sage plant growing that represents protection for me. So I have 2 versions. And you would tuck that into the string as representing any forgotten prayers and protection before you give your offering. So some of the other correspondences that you can use, I'm going to read through the list for you and I'll attach that as a PDF. So traditionally red and white petals are used, so red for the earth and white for the mountains. So you can place a red and a white petal on top of your quintu, or you can put it inside the offering itself. Then that can represent the snow-covered mountains that reach the heavens, and then the red petal on top can represent the earth. We use sugar, so I've got a little bowl of sugar there to represent sweetness and love. And you can place 1 open shell as traditional. I don't have an open shell, so I'm going to use a heart in the very middle when I start my picture. So that will represent the womb of the earth and the source and of all creation and the birthplace, and that holds us and nourishes us and provides opportunity and safety. So that will be the central starting point for my despacho. So either an open shell or I'm using a little wooden heart for mine. And then you can feed your despacho and build your offering creatively with a handful of all of the things that mean something to you and sustain you. So for example, rice for fertility and abundance, to bring your prayers into fruition. Grains that represent sustenance. Nuts and seeds, gifts for the plant people. Beans for protection, abundance, power places and the springs that nourish us. Corn to represent sustenance, gift back to the earth for what we've been given. Raisins to represent spirits of our ancestors and our blood lineage. And you can use sweet treats like candies, candy hearts, gumdrops, that kind of thing, to represent everything that we're in relationship with. And I always use chocolate because Pachamama loves chocolate, and so do I. So chocolate is always for the win, isn't it? And I'm actually going to use orange chocolate buttons because at the moment it's Letha or summer solstice, and for me a connection with that is orange, the sun, creativity and joy and freedom and expression and fire. So I'm going to use that because the orange, even though it's not the colour orange, the representation of orange in my chocolate orange buttons represents that for me at the moment as well. And then you can use loose sage or incense to feed the elements to the earth. Obviously I have my sage leaves, so I'm going to be using that. Black licorice for protection. You can put some play money, a piece of play money in there. I've done some little printouts of, you can use Monopoly money or anything like that to represent abundance and the success of your despacho. And then stars to represent the connection to the stars and the cosmos and cosmic energy. You can use coloured confetti or sprinkles to celebrate all life. And rainbow yarn or rainbow crepe paper or anything like that to colour with colours of the rainbow, which represents the bridge between worlds. And then you could use red or white ribbons if you want to honour our path as humans with a physical body. So the red represents the blood of the physical and the spiritual nature, which is the white. So together they make the great road together. And then, of course, flower petals, which represent healing. And you can put anything else that you like on your despacho, anything that means something to you or represents anything to you. Just be sure that you've ethically sourced it and make sure it's burnable if you are putting it in the fire. If you're burying it, that's okay. If it's going into water, be mindful of what you put in it because it's going to be going into the water. Be careful of any creatures that are going to be around and may come across it if you're going to be burying it or putting it in water. So things that are not toxic, not harmful. just respectful. So when it's going into the fire, I just make sure that nothing's toxic and it's all burnable. Right, let's get started.